over the Christmas break and while I was out, a little piece of news came out that Steven Yeun has walked away from the role of Sentry in the Thunderbolts and isn't going to be in the Thunderbolts anymore. Now, the reason given makes a lot of sense. Look, we knew that with the writers and the actor strikes, a lot of schedules were going to get thrown in upheaval and all that kind of stuff. And Steven Yeun just basically said, look, they started shooting that thing in May. Then everything went all haywire. His schedule no longer lines up with it. He had to walk away. But he says he still wants to be in the MCU. He explicitly came out and said, I still want to be in the MCU, but it can't be in this role. So that brings up an interesting question that a lot of online sites like this one, like Screen Rant, asking the question, well, now who can replace Steven Yeun? Before we get into their picks, and I want to do a little bit of, I want to go through a couple of these articles here today and kind of analyze what their picks are. I think the first possibility we have to talk about, though, is it possible that instead of recasting Steven Yeun as Sentry, they simply just don't have Sentry in the movie anymore? I mean, we heard that not reworking it to the same degree that Captain America 4 is being reworked, because there's some extensive reworking being done on that one. But we've heard a little bit of reworking is being done on Thunderbolts. They had the time, but could it be that they decided that they don't want to bother having him in there? And this all is really the topic of today's Mint Mobile hotline question of the day. Listen, guys, if you've got a topic or question for the show and you'd like to hear your voice on our show, go ahead and call our Mint Mobile hotline anytime 24/7 at 951-268-4259. And today's specifically about Steven Yeun and Sentry. Check it out.
Hey, John and crew. This is Chris from Palmdale, California. So last week it was announced and confirmed by actor Steven Yeun that he would be dropping out of the Thunderbolts movie. Now, considering the role he was playing as a Sentry, we know Marvel before him, they courted Ryan Gosling to play the role. We know actor Ryan Hurst from Sons of Anarchy fame had expressed interest at one point in playing the Sentry. But who do you think Marvel will go to now to fill that role as the hero with the power of a million exploding suns? Thanks, guys, and bring on the filthy.
All right, thanks a lot for calling that in, man. And yeah, so first of all, the thing I want to address is it possible that they don't use Sentry? Now, I've already saw somebody in the live chat saying, why would they take out a character just because an actor had to back out? They shouldn't. But I would still propose there's still one big glaring thing to me. How does a Sentry fit in with the Thunderbolts? And I wonder if, because listen, you're right, Sentry is basically Marvel's version. They say this about a lot of characters, but it really is Sentry. Sentry is Marvel's versions of Superman. Now, again, there are several characters that they say that about, but really this is the guy. This is the OP guy. When they did World War Hulk, and it had to come down to one person standing against Hulk who just wiped out all of Earth's heroes, the only character they had at their disposal to do that with was Sentry. And Hulk and Sentry battled it out basically to a draw, right? That's the guy. And I've always wondered, as fascinated as I've been to see Sentry pop up in the MCU, I've always wondered, how does this fit in with the Thunderbolts? I mean, listen, I love Bucky. What the flying fuck is Bucky gonna do against Sentry? I love
a firm handshake.
A firm handshake.
Hey, buddy.
I love Yelena, but I'm sorry, no amount of backflips is gonna do anything to Sentry. I love David Harbour's character. What do they call him again? The Red Guardian?
Red Guardian.
Yeah.
I love David Harbour's Red Guardian. He was absolutely 1,000% the best part of that Black Widow movie. Yelena was great in it too, but I mean, I love that character. But I'm sorry, what is Ghost or Walmart Captain America or any, like? There's literally nothing there. What do you got, Ray?
When your backs are against the wall and you need to defeat a Red Hulk, you go to the raft and you break Sentry out of the raft where he's been parked up this whole time.
But here's the problem: we've already found out Red Hulk's gonna be in Captain America 4. That comes out before Thunderbolts.
Before, yeah.
So, I mean, I've always thought about that. So I just want to propose, I just want to put it out there. Nobody told me this. This is not insider information. This is just me as a fan speculating. I want to propose that maybe Marvel thought better and said, you know what, let's just pull the Sentry angle out of this. We got all these characters, these great characters, Yelena, Red Guardian, Bucky, Ghost. We got all these great characters. Let's thin it out a little bit. We don't necessarily need a Sentry here. I'm not saying they're going to do that. I'm just saying maybe that's a possibility. Guys, we want to take a second to thank a sponsor of this video, Mint Mobile. On average, it takes about 30 days for a person to break their New Year's resolution. So if saving money was on your 2024 list, your odds aren't looking that great. Luckily, I have a 100% guaranteed way to save you money this year. Just switch to Mint Mobile. For a limited time, wireless plans from Mint Mobile are $15 a month when you purchase a 3-month plan. That's unlimited talk, text, and data for $15 a month. I've told you guys many times that after switching to Mint Mobile, I am spending less than a third on my cell bill than I used to with a major carrier. Say goodbye to your overpriced wireless plans, jaw-dropping monthly bills, and unexpected overages. All Mint plans come with unlimited talk and text plus high-speed data delivered on the nation's largest 5G network. And don't worry about having to change phones or numbers. Use your own phone with any Mint Mobile plan and bring your phone number along with all your existing contacts. So guys, to get this new customer offer and your new 3-month unlimited wireless plan for just $15 a month, go to mintmobile.com/Campea. That's mintmobile.com/Campea. Cut your wireless bills to $15 a month at mintmobile.com/Campea. Additional taxes, fees, and restrictions apply. See Mint Mobile for details. Well, this article here wanted to throw out 10 possible names of replacing Sentry. So I thought we would go through these. One is Alexander Skarsgård. I like the pick. Ever since I saw him in The Northman. Actually, you know what? A lot of people crap on the movie, but he showed me something in that Tarzan film he did with Margot Robbie. It's like, this dude's a legit action star. And then if you haven't seen him in Northman, whoa. So he could, and most importantly, he is a world-class actor. So I like their pick. Andrew Koji, I love this guy. Even in that horrible Snake Eyes movie. He was awesome. And now that Warrior's been canceled, he's got some free time on his dance card. I'd be all for Andrew Koji playing that role. Although I'd love to see him in the MCU in kind of any route. Boyd Holbrook.
That's my pick.
I love this
That's
one.
my pick.
I really like this pick too. Whether you're talking about Narcos, I thought he was great in Logan.
Yep.
He's just solid. He's got a presence on screen. He'd be really not my number one pick, but I like this one. I never know how to pronounce Nikolaj Coster-Waldau.
Waldau.
Where's
yeah.
Waldo?
Yep.
Of course, from Game of
He's in
Thrones.
Westeros.
You know, the only thing I remember seeing him in since Game of Thrones was that rom-com where he was the boyfriend who had the supermodel was the star of it, where he had the 3 girlfriends.
Oh, yeah.
All at the same time. Mm-hmm. That's the only movie I think I remember seeing him in.
He did a series with Jennifer Garner for Apple TV called The Last Thing He Ever Told Me.
Yeah, that's right.
I forgot he was in that.
Yeah.
Well, because he's not in most of it, because he's gone.
It's the last thing
It's the last thing he ever told her.
Last he told me. All right, next up is just, I don't know if he's good for Sentry, but you put Ope in anything. I'd love to see him in the MCU, Ryan Hurst. Again, he was my favorite character on one of my favorite shows, Ope on Sons of Anarchy. I never saw the other show he's well known for that's going on. I can't remember the name of it because I never saw it.
He did a stint on Walking Dead. I know that.
Oh, did he?
Yeah.
So yeah, I would love to see him in the MCU. I don't know if Sentry's the right role for him. There's some fan art of him in the role of Sentry. Next up, Keanu Reeves. I don't see it. I don't see Keanu Reeves. Although, if you're remembering the alter ego of Sentry, who has some, let's say, some substance issues, I could maybe see Keanu pulling that off pretty well. But I don't know. I'd like to see Keanu Reeves as something else. Going back to Sons of Anarchy, I love the idea of Charlie Hunnam playing Sentry. I like him a lot. Despite the fact that he was just in that terrible Rebel Moon movie, but I like him a lot. I think he'd be really good in that. Anthony Starr, nah.
That's too on the nose.
Yeah.
It's just way too much on the nose. So I'll put, and I love Anthony Starr. A big popular one going around is Ryan Gosling.
But that raises the budget. Or that cuts into the budget.
It does raise the budget. He is super hot right now, especially coming off of Barbie. His Fall Guy movie isn't going to make $1 billion or anything, but that looks really fun. So I would, and more importantly, an Oscar caliber actor. I could see it, but I don't think that'll be it. And again,
it's a little on the nose, but okay.
So many people saying Henry Cavill, way too much on the nose. It's, I love Henry. Obviously, everybody knows that he's my boy, but no way should it be Henry Cavill. So I don't know. So a couple of those I quite like. You know, I like the, I love the Andrew Koji one. I like, Skarsgård's a good one.
Yeah, I like Skarsgård too. But
the Charlie Hunnam is great.
no Kinnaman though.
I don't know if Charlie Hunnam is really into the superhero thing though, because he turned down Green Arrow, saying, you know, green's not really my color, and I don't think spandex is my material.
Well,
and that could have to do specifically with just playing Green Arrow, but it did seem a little kind of like a jab at the superhero genre in general, which is interesting given, you know, Pacific Rim and Rebel Moon.
yeah, all that stuff. So any of these names stand out to you, Chris, that you like a lot?
I really like Andrew Koji for it, and I really, really like Boyd for it.
Yeah,
I
Boyd.
think that one is so smart and
Boyd
so fun.
Holbrook's. Yeah.
He's terrifying as the Corinthian in
in
Sandman. And one of the things I loved about Steven Yeun, right, was he was going to be able to play the very troubled, drug-addicted version of Sentry. He was going to play the heroic Sentry. And then I really was confident in his ability to play the Void. I think Boyd Holbrook
As
could
the
play
Void?
the shit out of the Void. And he could do all those other things, too. He's a world-class actor. But I think this would be a really, really amazing role for him in particular.
Yeah. It's unfortunate, too, the timing of it, because right after he steps out of the role, he wins his Golden Globe, and he's
Yeah.
going to win other awards
Absolutely.
this coming award season, too. What about you, Ray? You got anybody that you like? I mean, Joel Kinnaman was one
Yeah,
of
Joel Kinnaman is like my my dream pick or whatever, or Alexander Skarsgård. But out of that whole list, I'm down with Boyd Holbrook. I think he's the one right there. Ryan Gosling, I think from what I've seen him in, his face is just like, just makes me not makes me laugh, but like I think of all the other roles he's played. I mean, I think Boyd Holbrook is my pick in that whole litter right there.
Yeah, but I think there are a lot of good names on there. And you know what? The reality is probably the best person to play the role isn't even on that list.
Yeah.
Yeah,
you
because they
listed
picked
them.
Steven Yeun. Like, I mean, that was their pick. I mean, it could be anybody, really. It could be Terry Crews.
It could be Terry Crews. Why
what?
not?
I don't care. Just put him on the screen.
He's the real Sentry. Hey guys, thanks so much for watching this video. Make sure you like the video, leave a comment, and subscribe to our channel. And don't forget, we have a daily podcast called the John Campea Show Podcast, available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or your favorite podcasting app of choice. Go and subscribe to it today so it'll be there when you need it.